Hi everyone, Harrison here from LED Torch Shop, here with the two of the larger lux streams in the Nebo range. We've got the SL75 and the SL100. This one's rated around that 1200 meters and the SL100 is rated around 1600 meters. Both very similar in design but vastly different in sort of functionality, I would say. But before I get into the lights, I'll dive into what you get in the pack and then we can dive straight into the light. Da-da-da-da. First of all, obviously comes in some nice Nebo packaging. All their packaging's really great. You can sort of see exactly what you get in the pack, all the specs, all the main sort of aspects of the light right on the front. So really good packaging and easy to sort of see. Then you obviously get your light, either your SL75 or your SL100. You also get a really long 2 meter USB-C to USB-A cable. Now I'll get into why they give you such a long USB-C cable in just a minute. You also get a lanyard, a 2 amp sort of car charger, which is great. You get an Allen key as well. Now that is so you can take the pocket clip on and off as you please. It's a really strong pocket clip, probably made more for a belt or a bag, just being such a large gap in between sort of where it might clip onto something. And you get your user manual as well. Really nice, quick, easy instructions on how to get it started, how to charge with this user manual. If you want to know anything more, you can scan that QR code at the back and it will give you more information about Nebo and about your light. So definitely worth a read. Also scan that QR code, get to know your light before you use it, and yeah, you probably have no dramas with it. So that's pretty much what you get in the pack. A couple other things. The light comes included with a 221-700 sort of batteries. Fully rechargeable light. That's the same on the SL100 as well. So same battery compartment and sort of same battery as well. The reason they give you a really long USB-C cable and a car charger is because this light, like a lot of searchlights that want to be used for a long time, you can run this thing continuously. So all you have to do is pretty much plug it straight into the USB-C charging port and you've pretty much got everlasting runtime. If you've got this connected to a car, any other power outlet, power bank, yeah, you can run this thing for just however long that battery is going to last or that car might be on, sort of thing. So really nice to see that they've sort of thought about what they want these lights to be used for and gone above and beyond in sort of functionality, because they are searchlights and they do know why people are sort of going to be using these lights. They're going to be out there for long periods of time and want to know that their light is just not going to fail. And yeah, these lights are sort of perfect for that. Design wise, both are very similar. Kind of got a rubber plastic sort of feel at the bottom here. Rubber, nice ergonomic handle. Everything else is sort of hard anodized aluminium, sort of aircraft grade. You've got your tripod mount on the top here, and you've got a magnetic base as well on the bottom. So really nice, really decent sort of lanyard hold, carabiner hole. That's super sturdy, so you know that that thing's going to go with you everywhere. Like I said, it's got the big pocket clip on here. Again, nice and sturdy. Can be taken off and attached to the other side if you want, or not run it at all. So lots of sort of different aspects going on. Functionality wise, it's got a battery indicator at the back here, so that's showing fully charged. And then you've got your sort of rotary switch. This one's got high, medium, low. The SL100 though, being an LEP, has got sort of flood, LEP, and then a combo of both. So before I get into sort of the outputs and run times, I'll sort of run through exactly what's sort of different about these. So SL75 is an open reflecting light. So just one reflector, high, medium, low, ramps right up. Really typical to a searchlight. Gets a great beam profile, really nice and centered because it's got quite a large, deep reflector in there. All smooth, obviously, as you'd expect. And yeah, I mean, really does a great job. This one would be perfect for sort of that search and rescue, that spotlighting, that yeah, if you're in a car and wanting to sort of see long distances for a long period of time or just have it scanning, this light is definitely right up your alley. The SL100, even though it's the longest throwing light, I feel it's a little bit of a different ball game than the rest of the Luxstream range. This being an LEP, so LEP is typically laser focused, obviously. It does come with a C.O.B light as well, so a floodlight. And that's not going to give you much distance at all, but it is a fantastic, really spread, even light. It's going to give you sort of that 15, sort of around that 20 meters mark, just fully lit up, really, really good. So functionality wise between these two, I would say would be drastically different. I would prefer this if I knew I was going to be walking through some bushland or anything like that, and I wanted that C.O.B light to sort of see through there, walking trail, things like that. And if I knew I was going to come to a clearing and I really wanted to scan out long, then you can just turn that LEP on, scan out to sort of that 1600 meters, 1.5k sort of distance along a cliff face, in a gorge or something like that. And then if you knew you were going to go back into sort of a tight confined space, turn that C.O.B light on. So even though this one's sort of the longest throwing of them all, functionality wise, I reckon is completely different. But I'll get into outputs and runtimes. We'll start off with the SL75 and then we'll jump into the SL100. A couple other things about both lights is they are IP67 rated, so fully submersible underwater for about 1 meter for about 30 minutes. So pretty much able to use it in any condition, and that goes across the board for both these lights. So the SL75, maximum 1200 meters distance, 780 lumens max out of this, out of the high. May not seem like a lot, but for a distance light, if the reflector and chip, I feel that have been matched perfectly. It's not about the lumen output, it's all about the distance. And yeah, this one really does a great job at really focusing that light in. They've chosen the right chip and the right reflector for what they're sort of going for. On low though, you obviously get your 100 lumens at the 30 hours runtime off the included battery. So really nice output. You get some decent distance out of that, and then you can sort of smoothly ramp up from there. Medium mode is 400 lumens, and you get about 10.5 hours runtime off the batteries. Now that's just a fantastic output really. So you're gonna be able to do most of your sort of tasks with that. And then you can ramp up to your high mode, which is your 780 lumens for 5 hours runtime and your 1200 meters distance. Now that's off the existing battery. So that is just really good amount of runtime as well. So they haven't gone overboard with the lumens, because it is a searchlight, they want that runtime to be max. So 5 hours off high is just a really, really nice amount of runtime. But again, you can run it continuously off a power source. So yeah, you've got no dramas with running this thing all night long on high. Jumping onto the LEP, 1600 meters max distance. Now, like I said, it's got a flood function, which is that C.O.B light at the front. And then it's got the LEP and also a combo. So the C.O.B light is going to be 500 lumens and it's going to be about 15 hours runtime. So really low energy, sort of sucking those C.O.B lights. So you get really decent amount of light and really good spread, and you've got tons of runtime off the existing battery. Then if you want to run that LEP, that laser focused sort of spot beam, 280 lumens, and you're going to get that 6.5 hours, just over 6 hours runtime off that. Again, huge amount of runtime off these lights. And yeah, the LEP, really decent LEP. Probably not the tightest, but definitely gets out there and definitely does a really good job. And then you can obviously run it on combo. So you get your C.O.B light, you get your floodlight at that sort of 20 meters, and then you've just got that laser focused beam out to sort of that around that 1.6 kilometer mark. Found that combo mode didn't really do much for me. There wasn't too many scenarios where I needed to like sort of see just in front of me and then I wanted to see ages away. I sort of picked in between those two. But like I said before, I think this one would be better suited if you were sort of walking through a tight clearing and then you sort of came out into somewhere that you really wanted to see further. Whereas a typical searchlight, I would go with the SL75 for spotlighting and everything like that. I think it's sort of a better option in that remark. Totally personal preference for me for spotlighting and sort of searching and stuff like that would be a typical open reflector. I just really like the beam pattern on them. As for like use wise, they're so easy to use. With the rotary switch here at the front, you just set and forget. So if you want to be on medium and then you just click it on, you've got your medium light. You can sort of see how nice beam pattern that is for an open reflector, and it's just on and off. So super easy to use. If you've got big hands or you've got big sort of gloves, you can pretty much find that button wherever. It's pretty decent. So, I mean, they've just made a really functional searchlight and a really nice LEP light as well. So, I mean, it's, yeah, whichever way you go, I think you're going to get a great light. whether you go with the SL75 or the SL100. But yeah, Nebo have just really come out and really thought about the features they wanted to include with these lights. So as always, I'll drop a link below to the Nebo SL75 and SL100, so you can check the link below. You can see all the Nebo range. I've got some really interesting lights. But please feel free to like, subscribe, really helps the channel out. We've got new content coming out all the time, so hit that bell notification to keep yourself up to date. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.